Ron, the Japanese word for rebellion, is also the title of the last great epic that Akira Kurosawa made in his third period of filmmaking, which basically means it was during a time where, believe it or not, he could not get funding, local funding for his movies. He actually had to go overseas to get his movies produced. In this case, it was a French production company that gave him the $12 million that afforded him to be able to make this movie, to complete it. And as surprising as that sounds, believe it or not, at that time he was considered old-fashioned, and he was actually considering retiring at that point. But keep in mind, he made this movie at the age of 75. Kurosawa was born in 1910, he died in 1998. So keep that in mind when you watch this 2.5 hour long movie. Basically, this movie is about, it is based on a fable. At first it's based on a fable, a Japanese fable about Mori Montanari, which is a Japanese warlord who who wrote this fable about what if my sons had turned out to be really bad. And he had 3 sons. As Kurosawa was writing the screenplay for this movie, he discovered that there was really a lot of parallels as he was writing about this to King Lear by William Shakespeare. And remember that Kurosawa was a big fan of Shakespeare. And while it's never been clear, he never really explained it, but basically he said at one point that he gave William Shakespeare writing credits because really this is a Japanese retelling of King Lear. Now, the actual story of this movie is that this man, Lord Hidetora, is giving his 3 sons 3 parts of the kingdom. The youngest son says, yeah, whatever, this is going to end badly, and he turns out to be right. There's a lot of death, there's a lot of gore, there's a lot of blood in this movie. And while I'm showing basically the battle scenes from this movie, I'm not really giving anything away because this is, believe it or not even halfway through the movie. You still got another like hour and a half, I think, to go at this point. Anyway, you should watch this movie not just because of its epicness, the battle scenes, the cinematography, but also for the story and the destruction of one man because he wants his sons. He's thinking that his sons are equal and that they're good and they're kind, and they turned out to be, incredible jerks here. As you can see, the 2 of the sons are banded together to actually take him out, to kill him, as you can see in this right here. But like I said, there's a whole other part of the movie where the 3rd son eventually piles in as well, but he's kind of a little bit of a surprise, so I won't tell you what happens there. Again, this is a movie of epic proportions. You need to rent this, you need to watch this on Netflix. If your local movie theater is actually showing this on screen, I would pay the money and go see it and maybe watch it at least 2 times. That's how good this movie really is. And it stands up. That's the other part of this. This was made in 1985 and it still stands up. It's almost 30 years old and it still is as powerful as it was when it first came out and won an Academy Award. Now keep in mind that Kurosawa, of course, did the 7 Samurai movie and a lot of other stuff that he's famous for. But if there's one movie, one of them that you really need to watch to really get a good feel for just something that is truly epic and that isn't as well weak as Braveheart was, check this movie out. Again, it's called Ron by Akira Kurosawa, and you will be a fool, just like the old man here, if you didn't watch it.